Good morning, Kammi. This video is going to help go through this course to hopefully get you to a point where you can get some work completed. Here's the course schedule. This is what you texted me with certain things that were circled. If you are looking at this, you will see here it gives you the due dates for the unit. So the first unit, which just passed, was these are the topics we covered: homeostasis, organization, and chemistry. Here are the things that you should be doing or completing for this unit in the order you should complete them. So complete the vocabulary lab activity. This is going to be on Blackboard. It is worth 10 points. When you are done with that, study that section, and then you will take the vocabulary lab quiz. This is also on Brightspace, so on your internet, and it is worth 15 points. All of the information for these two activities are found in section 1 of the study guide, which I will explain in a second. Then you're going to complete the chemistry lab activity. That's worth 10 points, and it is also on Brightspace. All of these activities are found on Brightspace, so in the online classroom. Then you will take the chemistry lab quiz after you study that information. That's worth 10 points, and all of that information is on section 2 of the study guide. So you can see how that goes. So the numbers that are next to here indicate the amount of points that each of those activities are worth. The section 3 or section 2 or section 1 shows you where in the study guide you can take notes to help guide you so that you are studying what I want you to study and nothing more or nothing less. And then that is how it's laid out for all of the activities. When you get to Brightspace, you will see your courses listed. You will click on your course number and it will pull the actual course up. The first thing that you should see are announcements that were made. Make sure that you are reading announcements and watching the videos, as a lot of these go over things. For instance, show all announcements. You know, way down here in announcement number 1 talked about going through this course. So this would have gone through a lot of what we are going through in this video again. So make sure that you're watching the different videos that get posted. They also introduce the topic for each week. Up along here is your menu that you will work with. So if you click on content, it will then pull up all of the different weekly units along this left-hand side. So this is the Getting Started folder. This is going to be basic class information if you need it. If you click on Unit 1, this is the unit we just finished. This is what you will see. It'll have the title of the unit, the date the unit is due, basic description of the unit. Here's the unit to-do list. Again, taken straight off of that schedule we just went over. So 10 points means the lab activity is worth 10 points. And then this is just a whole bunch of different tools that you can use. Down here is the course criteria. This is what NICC says that we have to cover. You don't need to worry about this until the end, very end of the course. When you are in this section, the first thing I would do, let me just switch to student mode here. The very first thing I would do is click on this study guide. Okay, this is a version of the study guide. You can download it and print it and fill it out by hand if you want to. You can download it and fill it out, type right on here. But this study guide is going to help organize the information that we want you to know. If you are looking through here, okay, so let's just look at number 1. Describe the anatomical position and why it is important for providers to describe it. There is a link that will take you to the online textbook session if you need it. There's also a video that will help explain the answer to this. You can use either one. However, so notice that this is section 1, lab activity. If you click down here, lab activity, vocabulary and organization. This is going to be an activity that's going to guide you through completing that study guide, that section. So it's not showing it on here, but it would say start quiz to attempt to start it. And when you start it, then it will take you through an activity that will help you fill out the notes. Okay, so it says that it's quiz, but it's not. It's an activity. So you'll go through here and there will, some explanation, watch the video, use the diagrams in your study guide to help take notes on the information. So the study guide is just a tool to help you take notes. So as you watch this video, you'll be able to then complete this part of the study guide. It'll go through this diagram, it'll go through this diagram, and it'll help you fill in the different labels and to take the notes that you need. Then on this activity, there are times where it will stop and just give you a question just to check that you understand what's happening. These activities, the lab activity and the physiology activities, you can do as many times as you want to. So if you're doing this and you get it wrong, then that means maybe you need to study that a little bit more, and then you can go back and you can try it again. So hypothetically, you should be able to get 100% on the activities, right? So again, it's just double checking, using your notes. You can use your notes to answer these. Your understanding. Here's this diagram here, right? If you look at the study guide, this diagram is up in here. So now it's going to go over this diagram. Okay, so by going through the activities, it will help you complete the section in the study guide. Now, when you are finished with this activity, right, you'll get a score. Then what you're going to do is you're going to study that section, that information, and then you're going to take a quiz on it. Okay? Quiz, vocabulary and organization, section 1, because it only covers the information in section 1. It is worth 15 points. Okay? When you are finished with that quiz, you get 1 attempt. You have to use honor lock on that so that you can't search anything else. When you are finished with that, you would then go on to section 2. So here's the lab activity, chemistry and enzymes, section 2. That's going to be section 2 of your study guide. Again, there are links here to help you, the textbook links and video links, but when you're going through this activity, it's going to help you fill out all of the questions in this section. Once you are finished with this particular section, then stop, study the information, and then you'll go back and you'll take the quiz on that information. So instead of one big unit test, instead there are 3 smaller unit quizzes. We do this to help make the class a little bit more manageable. When you are done with that, activity 3, section 3, this is going to be all of the physiology concepts. So a lot of the lab activities are looking at the structures. So you'll click on this. It will take you through an activity that will help you answer all of these, fill in all of these questions. You are never going to turn your study guide in, but this and filling this out and completing it is a guided way for you to take notes, and it gives you something to study. All right, so when you go through that activity, you'll be able to fill in all of this. And again, if you need further explanation, there are extra videos or extra textbook section links that can help you if you're struggling to understand. When you're finished with that, you will study that, and then you will take the Concept 3 quiz. At the end, there's always going to be a case study. This, again, is it's open notes. So you're going to click on this, and it's going to take you through a medical situation. So Alex has fallen down. It's going to tell you to let's see, all right? It's going to have what is, based on the situation, what is most likely happening to Alex's body. You can use your study guide, you can use your notes, you can use the internet to help you if you got to do some research, but it's just taking all of the information that you just learned in this unit and applying it to an actual patient. Again, you can complete these as many times as you need to get the score that you want. Hopefully that answers your question. Please let me know if you have other questions yet that you need me to answer on how to navigate this course. Have a great day. Hope your dad's doing better.